When did you realize you had a privileged childhood? I was in 7th grade when I figured out my best friend Jake was basically homeless. We'd been riding the same bus all year, but instead of a backpack, he always carried this beat-up grocery bag with him. I thought it was just his thing, you know? Like how some kids wear the same jacket every day or always eat the same lunch. One day after school, I asked if he wanted to come over and play Xbox. My mom had just bought me the new Call of Duty game, and I was dying to try the multiplayer with someone. Jake said sure, but he seemed nervous walking up to our house. When we got inside, he just stopped in the doorway. He was staring at our family photos on the wall, the ones my mom changes out every few months. Then he noticed the shoe rack by the door where we kept like 15 pairs of sneakers and boots. I kicked off my Jordans without thinking about it, but Jake just stood there holding his grocery bag. We went to the kitchen because I was starving. I opened the pantry to grab some chips, and Jake went completely quiet. "You have options?" he said, like it was some kind of joke. The pantry was packed with crackers, cookies, granola bars, 3 different kinds of cereal. I laughed and tossed him a bag of Doritos. But when my mom came home and asked if Jake was staying for dinner, he said yes so fast it almost sounded desperate, like he was scared she might change her mind. During dinner, he ate everything on his plate and asked for seconds, then thirds. My mom kept piling more food on his plate, and he kept saying thank you after every bite. After we ate, Mom offered to drive Jake home, but instead of giving us his address, he asked if we could drop him off at the Wash and Go laundromat on Maple Street. I thought that was weird, but whatever. When we pulled up, Jake grabbed his grocery bag and got out. "Thanks for dinner, Mrs. Anderson," he said through the window. My mom works here late, so I just wait for her. But as we drove away, I saw him walk around to the back of the building and disappear through a door marked storage. That night, I couldn't sleep. Something felt off about the whole thing. The next morning on the bus, I watched Jake more carefully. His clothes looked clean but worn out, like they'd been washed a million times. The grocery bag he carried wasn't random stuff. It was folded clothes, clean clothes from the laundromat. During lunch, I finally asked him straight up, "Dude, do you live at that laundromat?" Jake got really quiet and started picking at his free lunch tray. Then he told me the truth. His mom lost her job 6 months ago, and they got evicted from their apartment. The laundromat owner let them sleep in the storage room in exchange for his mom working nights. The grocery bag was his clothes. He'd wash them in the machines every morning before school so no one would know. I felt like such an idiot. While I was complaining about my mom buying me the wrong flavor of Pop-Tarts, Jake was literally living in a storage room. When I got home that day, I went straight to my closet. Rows and rows of shoes I never wore, jackets still with tags on them, pants I'd outgrown but never donated. I had 3 gaming consoles when some kids didn't even have a place to plug them in. The worst part was when Jake told me he'd been saving quarters from his mom's tips to buy me a birthday present. My birthday wasn't for 2 months, but he was already planning ahead, counting coins. Meanwhile, my parents had already put aside like $300 for my party. I started inviting Jake over every day after that. My mom caught on pretty quick and always made sure there were leftovers he could take home. She'd pack them in containers and say stuff like, "Oh, I made way too much, Jake. Can you help us out?" But we all knew what was really happening. 3 months later, Jake's mom got a job at the grocery store, and they moved into a real apartment. Jake still carried a grocery bag sometimes, but now it was just regular kid stuff, homework and snacks. On moving day, I helped them carry boxes, and Jake's new room was smaller than my walk-in closet, but he was so excited, showing me where he'd put his bed and his one poster. That's when it really hit me. I'd been living like a king my whole life and didn't even know it.